County District Attorney Tim Ward joined Riverside law enforcement officials this morning to rally against flaws in California's criminal justice reform. I'm Emma Ott. Stay with us to hear more details on that coming up.
The winter storms have passed and the temperatures are warming up, so vacant lot owners beware. You need to trim the grass before you get fined. I'm Allison Amber with details coming up.
Food prices are finally dropping at grocery stores. I'm Marcus Esparza with the full story tonight.
New, local, unique. MyTV 53 News at 8 starts right now.
And a very good evening. Welcome to the San Joaquin Valley's only 8 p.m. news. I'm Austin Reed. We've made it to the middle of the week. It's Wednesday, April the 12th. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight is regarding the crazy case of a serial burglar named Timothy Bethel, who will spend the next few years in prison following his involvement in a number of burglaries all across the state. Well, earlier today, Tulare County District Attorney Tim Ward spoke on the case this afternoon down in Riverside. It was part of a major press conference. Reporter Emma Ott joins us from the News Center with more in tonight's top story. Emma.
Law enforcement officials are fed up with California's criminal justice reform, and repeat criminal Timothy Bethel was their last straw. Riverside County law enforcement officials held a press conference today to discuss the recent case of the serial burglar and address the failure of the state prison not holding their inmates. Instead, criminals are being sent to local jails too crowded to hold them, where they are being released due to legislatures such as AB 109, Prop 47, and Prop 57. During the press conference, Riverside DA Mike Heston was joined by Tulare County's District Attorney Tim Ward to discuss the string of destructive crime sprees Bethel had committed across both counties from August 2021 to January 2023.
So, reason why we're here is we are doing everything we can to protect property in this county, and we simply can't do it. We can't do it.
This may sound a bit confusing, so I'm going to put together a timeline for you. Over the last 17 months, Bethel was convicted with 37 felonies of burglary and vandalism, targeting over 22 separate businesses across the two counties. Starting in the summer of 2021, Bethel broke into several businesses in Tulare and Visalia using force. He was convicted of 14 felony charges and sentenced to 4 years in Tulare County Jail. He was then released to a residential treatment program to reduce his sentence, in which he absconded immediately and within days was captured breaking into another business. In September of 2021, he was sentenced to 1 year in county jail but only spent a few months in custody. AB 109 made this possible. He was released for mandatory supervision and transferred to Riverside County in May of 2022. Once in Riverside, he immediately returned to his usual smash and grab activities by breaking into businesses and vandalizing them on the south side of Riverside County. He was charged by Riverside DA to 3 years and 8 months in prison, but because of AB 109, he spent a total of 3 days in prison before he was federally released. He then immediately went back to Tulare in December of 2022 to engage in another crime spree. District Attorney Tim Ward says this has now become a political issue.
Proposition 47, Proposition 57, we're all paying the price for these social experiments that are being born on the back of crime victims and law-abiding citizens across this state. Our legislators are causing that. When did California, the land of opportunity, somehow simply become the haven for opportunistic criminals?
Sheriff Gonzalez says we do not want more punishment, we just want safety. I'm Emma Ott reporting with MyTV 53 News at 8.
What a case, Emma. Thank you for that. Hey, also in Tulare County, at a virtual hearing just a few days ago, TCDA prosecutors secured a 5-year denial of parolee for Jose Nava, now age 75, for the 1979 murder of his wife. Nava is currently serving a life sentence at California State Prison in Solano. On September 14, 1979, an intoxicated Nava and his friend drove to Lindsay, so the man could kill his wife, Irene Vasquez, who filed for divorce just a few weeks earlier. This was the man's fourth denial of parole. The Office of the District Attorney regularly attends life parolee hearings, and a prosecutor argued against the inmate's release in this case. This just in from Visalia Police. On Tuesday afternoon, patrol officers were dispatched to a shrub fire located on the grounds of the Visalia Public Cemetery. Upon arrival, officers located the fire and were able to extinguish it. Dravian Hicks was contacted in the area and detained. While checking the cemetery, other shrubs were located which had previously been burned. No grave sites were damaged by the fires. Officers were able to gather evidence and determine that Hicks was responsible for the fires. Hicks was taken into custody and booked into the Tulare County pretrial facility for arson. Speaking of shrubs burning, the Fresno Fire Department wants to get the word out tonight about vacant lots that have not been adequately maintained, especially as we head into the summer months. Reporter Allison Amber is in our newsroom now with that story.
Today I spoke with Christine Wilson from the Fresno Fire Department, who says the department is responsible for addressing fires that have occurred in vacant lots that have not been well maintained or cleared from overgrown weeds.
There's a lot of vacant, empty lots in the city of Fresno that do have overgrowth. So the owners that don't abide by the code enforcement rules for weed abatement tend to have lots that are overgrown with dry weeds.
The fire department says this poses a risk to nearby occupied residents in the event of the fire spreading. The weeds can conceal holes and debris at ground level, causing damage to fire apparatus and posing a potential danger to firefighters. Now, if the fire department does respond to a non-compliant property, the property owner may be subject to cost recovery for the department's response and suppression efforts.
We are prepared and we are ready for this upcoming fire season. We hope that most property owners or all property owners follow the rules of the city and the rules of code enforcement with weed abatement, that they disc and or mow their properties to reduce the amount of fires that we run on these vacant lots.
Residents are also encouraged to use the Fresgo app to report any tall grass or weeds on vacant lots that are 12 inches or taller. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Allison Amber, MyTV 53 News at 8.
Helpful reminders there, Allison. Thank you. Well, over the last few days, Fresno County Fire's Truck Academy took place, and officials say it was a big success. Vertical ventilation, victim search, rapid intervention crew techniques, and forcible entry were just some of the topics covered in 2 weeks of the 80-hour academy. CHP Fresno says a man was killed overnight when he was hit by a van while riding a scooter on Highway 99. CHP says the 22-year-old man was riding his scooter in the far right lane near the white edge line of northbound 99, right near Fresno Street. At around 1 a.m., an oncoming driver was unable to avoid hitting that man, who was ejected from the scooter and landed in the roadway. Now, the driver did stop. He tried to pull the victim out of the road, but was unable to do so because of heavy traffic. CHP says the victim was hit at least 2 times by passing vehicles and was pronounced dead at the scene. Alcohol or drugs were not factors. It is another Who Is This Wednesday from Madera Police. They are looking to identify the male suspect pictured here who burglarized several storage units and stole a travel trailer at a local storage facility. The male subject was driving a U-Haul truck that was rented using a fake ID. If you recognize the suspect or have any information, call Valley Crime Stoppers 498-STOP. As in all cases, callers can remain anonymous. Finally, in your first 10 minutes of nonstop news here at 8 o'clock, a new report out today says many food prices are finally falling. Marcus Esparza explains.
Grocery prices finally dipped in March, falling for the first time since September of 2020, according to data released today by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Of 6 major grocery food group indexes, 3 fell from February to March. The meats, poultry, fish, and eggs index fell 1.4%, pulled down by another month of large decreases in egg prices. Fruits and vegetable prices fell 1.3%, and dairy products ticked down 0.1%. The other indexes for non-alcoholic beverages, cereals, and bakery products and all other groceries went up. CNN says while the monthly decline is a relief, groceries are still expensive on an annual basis. In the year through March, grocery prices jumped 8.4%, outpacing overall inflation of 5%. Menu prices went up 8.8% in that time. I spoke with some shoppers today outside of Walgreens in Fresno off Herndon Avenue.
I think they're still expensive, and you informed me that prices have come down, and to be honest with you, I did not realize that.
What do you usually buy? Fresh foods or?
I eat no processed foods. I eat fresh fruits and vegetables and good sources of protein.
Reporting in Northwest Fresno, I'm Marcus Esparza of the MyTV 53 News at 8.
Marcus, thank you for that. It is Wednesday night. MyTV 53 News at 8 is just getting started. Still ahead, the Fresno Grizzlies kicked off their 2023 season in downtown Fresno last night. Darren Redmond from Fresno Sports Talk was there. But next, the Biden administration today proposing new greenhouse gas emission standards that will scale up sales of electric cars and trucks nationwide. Plus, how long will our spring-like weather continue? We've got your full weather forecast coming up. New, local, unique. This is MyTV 53 News at 8, and we are back in a little over 2 minutes.
This is MyTV 53 News.